All right, I'll call the meeting in order. Time is 7:05, December 13th, 2023. Welcome five members of our board here today and our future board member, Kyle Shields. Let's do a roll call. Randall? Here. Jim? Here. Maria? Here. John? Here. And Evan James is here. We will skip over the pledges we have done one earlier. There. I'm going to turn the time over to our sheriff report. Thank you for showing up. Our deputy is here. Will you remind us of your name and this kind of?
Yeah, my name is Detective Keys. This is the first time I've been here, so okay. You guys might need to walk me through the history.
I can diapers. At least I can do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Thanks.
Awesome. Well, thank you for showing up. Joey, what's it, North School District? Sheriff shows up and presents kind of all the incidents that have been happening, kind of that you should be aware of, anything we can do to assist law enforcement, that type of stuff.
Okay. Okay, so I just barely got this, so I went through some of these. We had a total of 191 incidents the month of November. A lot of these calls are from the high school, I noticed. Kind of a big one we had was an accident involving a kid. He didn't get hurt seriously, but truck pulled out and wasn't able to see the car blocking the car. We had to remove it. So that's kind of the biggest thing I saw. I didn't see too many property crashes that were throwing rocks at the highway that was or rocks or things, they don't know what it was. So, like I said, I didn't have time to go through all this, so if you guys have any questions about any of these, I'm more than happy to pull them up, kind of get some more info on them.
That's about what it runs the numbers. There's nothing unusual about these numbers. It's extraordinarily high.
Right. Seems about right, especially with high school. So.
Any incidents?
The biggest one that I noticed, the one that task force, is the drugs in our high school. Trying to get that solved right now. So that's the biggest one I'm currently dealing with. Other stuff, just kind of the speed problems, the normal speed stuff. We're going to set up our speed trailer on Village tomorrow. I think place with that. So that's kind of what I know right now. So.
Thank you for the support. Winter parking, can you just clarify that?
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've done it, but I believe it's between the hours of 2. No, don't quote me. I have to look it up again. But the evening hours during, I think it's from December to March. And I'll have to look that up. I can pull it up, the exact code. But yeah, it's like it's 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. If you don't.
Yeah, we were asking kind of closely about that to do with our social media.
Okay, I'll pull that up.
It's a problem that seems to bother people.
Right.
So it's just a little bit of issues there.
Okay, I'll pull up the county ordinance so that we have the exact times of when people can't park roadways. Substitute. I know that is. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. Any other questions?
That's it.
Okay, thanks.
We have fire, but it doesn't look like I can shoot this here, so we'll pass that. We will move into our business item number 6 for open forum for public comment. You have a list here.
I got it. I got
Chad
it.
was on this one.
Slow down. Breathe.
Heather, we're on this, would like to speak.
We just have another 3 minutes.
3 more minutes.
Pretty tiny with content. I don't think so. I think I said everything in the previous, because that was about the budget. So I'm okay. Thank you though.
Thanks.
But I reserved that in case.
She spoke about it as well, so. Is there anybody else that would like to speak? If not, then I would be open to close our.
Second.
A motion by Jim, a second by Maria, all in favor? Aye. Passes 5-0. General manager update, items.
Okay, so we talked about this briefly. We got less taxes than we anticipated. We anticipated over 700,000 in the district. We got 647 just to, for a total of 1,295,500 today. The November 9th estimate from the county was just over 1.5 million. By the time people had adjusted their houses, and currently on the website, it's showing 1.427 million. The difference may be made up by taxes that come in later, in terms of delinquent property taxes, but we don't know. So that's what we have for operating capital. 1.2. You may have noticed that over by the Mill Pond Park, we've been shaping the hillside for safety, considering slowing season is supposed to be starting soon. So I think that looks pretty good over there. The plan is to plant some grass. The contract was signed for the Solomon loading dock area, and a reminder that the Christmas market is coming up this Saturday. So if everybody wants to participate or volunteer, well,
This market being.
yeah, Santa Claus, and then a bunch of markets going on from 3 to 9 in the clubhouse. 8 trucks. 9 to 3. 9 in the morning, 3 in the
Central
night.
Baker from 10 to 2. That's the important thing.
Okay, this is the slide Chad was looking for. I didn't think it was appropriate to put it in the public comment period, because that's for the public. He is correct. We just stated that where the guidance came from. It came from the independent auditor. The independent auditor is a firm that is employed by us or paid for by us, but chartered out of the state auditor's office to conduct our audit. We did verify with the special districts areas that there is no inaccuracies in the statements, but the attribution should have come from the independent auditor, not the state auditor. We sit down here, we look up and only see the state auditor, so we can refer to that as state auditor. I should be more specific. Okay. No, there was no intent in that. It was just a mistake. Okay, this is our budget. We've been doing these since May. This is sort of where we are at the end of the year. You see this amount of 64,800. That is where we got to at the end of November. So I put another slide just to show some stats. The lowest point we got was we had about 19,000 in the PTIF and 15,000 in science. And shortly following that, we got the tax increase. Projected to have at the year end about 1.150 million. As we continue to spend this year. So that is the actual number. Around the actual number we will end up with. We will get distributions throughout the year for deferred property taxes and for what they call fees and lieu taxes, which is you pay your card title. just for reference, the year last year, we had 1.750 million. Most of that difference was considered spent on equipment materials. That you'll see in the budget for next year, the next week. The amended budget, it will show that we spent about that amount on equipment that's used by both golf course and the parks. Right. But
I would just suggest telling some of that equipment we have to purchase.
yeah,
We sort of had to purchase 1 or 2 years in advance to get it. We didn't get it, then we were planning.
we did turn down some purchases this year because the new golf course attendants that you get along with that, superintendents that you get along with that. So that's part of the reason we were able to make.
Thank you. We'll move on to our action items. Item 2023.12.018. Possible approval of adjustment to sports league fees. Jim, if you could touch base on
I'm
that.
gonna pass this.
Maybe John can do that. It's not John. it's-
John, can you hold that right now, so we can
Mike, you want me to call in?
I'll just get it.
Yeah, just talk about what.
Yeah. Use that.
All right, so, between myself and Kelly Ann, she spent a lot of time trying to develop, some fees and alignments with uses of the fields, starting to go back in, August, I think. We passed a resolution for a motion, a couple months ago that provided the rates that we're going to charge and sent that information out to the various leagues. And we got feedback from them about how they were okay with it, they weren't okay with it, they were not happy, they were whatever. So, Kellyanne and I spent quite a bit of time recently looking over the rates. And if we were to, we realized that this is the first time we've ever had that, and some of us are really happy. This is a lot of pain for some of us to be able to do this because it is, never had to do it before, never had to. It's just awesome. And, but anyway, we compared a lot of what we were proposing with facilities in Salt Lake City and other locations up and down the Wasatch Front. And by far, we are much lower than what they are charging over on that side, on the other side of the mountain. Going back and forth, trying to figure out what would be the right thing to do, I propose we would do a discount for the use of the fields for teams that are based out of Stansbury Park for portion for the years 2024 and 2025, a 10% discount. We go back through and again today just to make sure we have the error. We went back through and calculated out what kind of money they would expect from each of the organizations, specifically football, baseball, and soccer. Some were able to give us more information than others, so our estimates were better or some, not so good with the others, but we did us pretty good information we were able to obtain. We were, this is a much better proposal, in my opinion, with the reduction in rates. Basically, if you were just to do the baseball guys as an example, we started at $35 an hour. the fields, and with a 10%, that puts them down to $32 now. And one of the things that we wanted to emphasize with everybody was the fact that, you know, when we're talking about fields, we're talking about parks. On a park, as an example, say there's 4 fields of them. We're charging not $35 per field. So we got 4 fields and that's $35. And one gentleman was here, he's still here. But, you know, we looked at that, we looked at other ways to do it. It's my opinion that, you know, for approximately something between $12 to $13 per player on the baseball, they'll fill that need, and they can do that in a number of different ways. There's that come out there as well. So I've gone through this. Jim and I went through it, spent a lot of time making sure that we weren't screwing the budget up. Overall, we still have money, assuming that these are correct. That's why we're doing it over 2 years, is to make sure that it's going to look right. And you know, we're going to be able to keep track of the costs on the maintenance on those fields differently, because of the way that we're updating modifying our, how we keep track of our workers and how they go their time. So we're still within budget, and I think I would like to have you guys think about it. Yeah, talk public, but I still think that it's a good way to go.
All right, thank you, John. Any clarifying comments or questions from the board?
Got 2 comments. One of the things we're trying to do is to have the sports teams identify when they are going to use the fields, that would open that up to other agencies coming in. 2, the discount applies only to Stansbury Park sponsored teams, because those are the teams that are primarily composed of people whose taxes are paid. So, one of the things that was happening was the sports teams were driven to field with it. This will force them to judiciously look at what they're doing. And I think there is enough interest out there that those fields are not used by our teams, that we can charge those off to other areas that want to use them, but they will be paying for it.
So, yeah, and in relationship to what Jim says on that field, it's our opinion, specifically mine, because I've served and worked on baseball for the president for 20 years. It'll make them better for the presidents, because they'll have to plan better on the time that they're going to use it, and be more specific about how they use mine. I know.
Has this proposal of the sports teams seen this proposal?
They haven't seen a 10% discount, but they knew something was coming. But they do about the original proposal, that $35 or $40 an hour, depending on which field that you're on. They knew all about that.
We got back from.
And they countered, like football countered with a per head.
Some of them countered, but not them. Some of them countered, but it wasn't realistic. The information was.
All I'm saying is that they countered.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Just some clarifying comments. Some could say that we are leaving some money on the table. Baseball fields has a concession stand where they actually make money off those concessions, things like that. This intent is to kind of ease them in, right? Just to put the names of them. Some of them have already collected funds, some of them haven't really planned this out to have it for us. So the intent here to apply the fees isn't necessarily to nickel and dime the athletes or the organizations, but to properly allocate time to the people that are using it, and letting other people know that parks from it, that they can use it. They're not owned by the baseball fields are owned by the baseball clubs, the soccer fields are owned by the soccer fields. their service, they just see their taxpayers that are funding this, so, if there's not any additional comments, I will open this public comment. Time is now yours.
So reserving the baseball fields, what does that mean?
We have the capabilities on our site.
Is that again?
We have the capabilities to do that on our site.
So it's not one of the coaches from any of the teams.
Well, a coach from a team could, if they wanted to go there and schedule that.
Oh, he's not the one that's deciding who gets what.
Yes, so we are deciding, and what availability of fields. How that will work is the coach will come in and say, Lee will come in and say, I want these. Any that are not reserved, for them to open up even other rooms for coaches who want to.
Now, what if they want to rent the field at Porter Ray Park?
That's, there are options. Yeah, that field is not playable shape, but there is some dollars in there for it.
All right, there's no additional comments, I will entertain a motion to close the comment.
Make a motion to close the comment. Second.
A motion by Jim, a second by John, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We'll move to more discussion of possible board adjustments.
So I make a motion. So I make a motion that we approve the adjustments in sports league fees for the years 2024, 2025 as a 10% discount on the base. While the base rate was previously approved. And that's my motion.
Second.
A motion by John and a second by Jim. Let's move to vote. John?
Yes.
Randy? Yes. Maria?
I'm going to use myself as well.
Jim?
Yes.
I vote yes. The motion passes to approve the adjustments to supposed to be 2023.12.01A. Passes 4-0 with one abstention. Action item 2, 2023.12.02A, pool operation limits.
This is primarily, we keep the pool open for 2024. This was the note that we had up there in the budget. I want to make sure we got a board vote as to whether or not there is in favor of pursuing on the subject. For this year, only assuming we have minimum repairs. Two things going that. One is Deseret Peak will not be open, so we will be the only open road. Two, we understand that there are major efforts at this thing. This would give us 1 year to look at some other options.
Any other clarifying comments or questions from the board? And I will open to public comment. Silence, please.
I have some, do I need to stand here? Am I okay here? I just like I brought up in my previous comment, I don't have a grievance against a pool, but I just think with the operational budget that you guys discussed in previous meetings, that you're not getting enough revenue with this, even with Desert Peak or wherever, whatever rec center, Magna, I don't care where people go. And you have the lake as an option too. Like I know there's a lot of recreation folks that come use the lake, who don't even live here. I just think if it's a way to lessen the tax liability to build a better foundation, tax less perhaps, or even just understand where you could put that money aside. I'm not saying to pour the pool, fill it with sand. I just really think that it should be something that you could take off the table in order to pause and put that money allocated somewhere else, to not have to continuously keep borrowing year after year until this decision can be made holistically, instead of basically using this money for that. I just don't see the revenue that would make sense with, with the upkeep, even minimal upkeep, it just doesn't, the math doesn't do it for me. And then, of course, with the golf course and the different things that you guys are doing with that, I just, those are the two biggest things that need supplies and expenses, but the revenue doesn't seem to mirror, and I just don't understand the reason for keeping the pool open. Or at least opening it this year, until you can get a better foundation. Thank you.
So I have a comment.
I would second that. If this were my home budget, I'd be letting the pool sit for a season. See what we can get to budget wise, put ourselves on our feet. Sometimes you just gotta make it hard.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
My grandkids.
Then I would entertain a motion to close public comment.
So moved.
And a motion by Maria, a second by Jim, all in favor?
Aye.
We will go 5-0 on that. Let's go into board discussion and possible approval of new operation plans.
So,
Discuss.
so I read the report, that was given to us, by Tom Anderson, water design, I went through it, a bunch. And, basically, what Tom is telling us is, there's a lot of deficiencies in the pool, there's a lot of things not right. And to make any corrections to the pool would, as I read it, would be, it's just not, you can't tolerate it, you might as well tear it out, so. I mean, it's pretty difficult. Okay? So I read down through the whole deal and, yes, my final thing is, the pool's over its 50 years, you know, it's supposed to last 25 to 30 or 50. You know, the site has got issues, from day one, but I have to deal with what you sometimes get with.
So John, are you in favor
The
of,
rules,
go ahead, are you in favor of closing the pool or?
I'm not, what I'm thinking of is this. If we can, in the last year, we spent $30,000 to put 4 boilers back in on that thing. Because it seemed like that was the thing. I think it was the right thing to do at the time. I think we should move forward with the operation of the pool. However, I think that at this immediate time, that we should be starting to look for options. Different from probably options that would include, okay, somewhere else or here, what, you know, we need to look at that, but I don't think we need to wait here to figure it out. I think that, you know, Jim and I talked a little bit about this, and I'm in the process of contacting some people that can give us some solid advice with regards to size, location, all that kind of stuff that we would have to have. And I would not, you know, if we're asking the same question now, if boilers went out right now, like what I did last year, tough decision. But I think we can patch this thing together. Patch together 2 more. In a year, 6 to 9 months, we could say that this is what we need to be able to do. Operate. And we're just going to have to find somebody on board. But right now, I feel try to hold together while we're trying to find, so we just don't shut it off and say, stop.
All right, thank you, Joe. Any other comments from the board? Any discussion? In favor or
Just
similar to what John was saying, I'd like to recoup a little bit of that 33 grand that we put into it. If we could open it, if we could put a dollar amount saying we won't go over this, or else we shut it down, that kind of thing. Just about. Because if we can recoup some of that money, it should open, as long as it was shut down properly.
We shut it down with weather protected, we've done everything.
Right. It should open with minimal to no cost. Should.
There are some good comparisons. It is over its life. I would probably favor opening one year, but I don't know if we can go there. I do agree with some of the other comments that it is a cost. We have to weigh, can we bear that cost in this budget? And so that is where we are. I'm really on the fence on this one. I'd like to see it open. I agree with Dan's comments and other meetings that it is a responsibility for us to be given. But we also have a responsibility to make coding decisions.
Well, we also have a responsibility to make sure the facilities are safe. And I'm just not entirely sure that the pool would, pass a total inspection and have all of our safety issues addressed with that. To the best of our ability, I think we've done a really good job trying to throw some more band-aids on it. But at this point, for me, I don't see how we can go that many.
I'll just give my comments. Shortfall is a yearly shortfall we have. Not able to understood for several years, pools, specifically public pools, just to grow. So I would be in favor of, if we do, so it's not in favor, I understand as well, that shortfall is just. But I will do it next time.
So we make a motion, we open the pool for the season 2024 in home repairs. But at the same time, strong effort to start planning for the future.
A motion by Joe. Expenses, with understanding of creating a plan to reduce the pool. Second by Randall. How do you vote?
Yes.
Randall? Yes. Maria?
No.
Jim? I vote yes. Motion passes 4-1. Action item 3/2023.128, approval of.
Two. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the library support. Some of the things were mentioned, the board agrees to support the library. Include the support for $15,000 to provide part-time help. And we, on our own, we had a full-time person that increased the cost. Okay. reduces support to virtually nothing. Time we did layoffs in the summer. There's been a lot of discussion about whether support not support the library. It's not part of our charter, but it's also was cemetery. I would consider we never have money. It's just not happening. There is, yes, talk about that. Right now, you're applying internet, phone, office supplies, and tiny cat subscriptions. If we provide minimal support, they can get it without more grant. County supports some. We need to work out the mechanism. This can be done. It's part of our charter. With our charter, I can propose can be put into our charter. Besides that, I think it's minimal support for the effort for the benefit we get from that. Most people are going to have talked to the work about making full-time. Chad talked about grants. Got to have certain levels of performance before you can get certain grants. You have to have to make some so they can do some reading. We got a $2,000 merchant library grant last year, but that was because they had some staff. There are levels of grants that can only be given. So I would propose that we are talking about other suggested some options to talking about it. But not doing that on a cheaper basis. One thing we are going to probably do is move their mandates to the library board, so that if they move somewhere else, they can take that. Problem with that. So I think we're moving in the right direction.
Any other clarifying comments or questions? All right, public comments and source.
The only addition I would just add is I know that if they have that much support and you're putting money into it as a resource, or however you're putting it under your charter, there's always the option for a 501c3, something along those lines.
They provide 501c3. I don't know if they got it. So.
Because if you were able to do that, they could pull their own grant funding minimally, and they wouldn't have to match it. So it'd be something where you could donate to it, have a tax write-off for that, and then not have to use this as some sort of support. It would just be in addition to the resource.
They're trying to do donations to get a part-time person so that they can get some access to those other grants.
Yeah.
So that we can help function to do that, however. But I think.
Yeah, I mean, under the 501c3, they could pull at least the operating budget for it, and then if you had an operate a point in your budget, maybe if the pool happens to still close, I'm still hanging on to that. Maybe throw a little bit of donation money into something that actually is working instead of something that's not. Thought I'd throw that out there. But anyway, 501c3 is where I would go, you can still put that under the domain change as well, and it wouldn't be any gap.
Any other public comments? Well, have you ever seen motions? Comments?
Second.
A motion by Mr. Charles, second, all those in favor? Aye. For discussion and possible approval.
As amended, do we need to amend the old one or just do our new license? Okay.
I have a motion by Randall, a second by Jim. So, Randall?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Maria?
Yes.
Jim? I vote yes, motion passes 5-0. Just clarification there, three comments, public, that is, if we are to adjust our charter, which is, works right, agreement, it's definitely possible. Tax the dollars. Action item 4, 2023.12.048. We have approval of easement for SPID.
Okay, so this is Brett's like that drawing. We gave them SPID and easement a while back to handle putting the pipeline down, for the next 2 years. So they're putting that in. They since have a requirement from the schools to provide water out of well up here in reserve. So they have requested an easement across that road pipeline. Advantage to us is when all this gets in, the school district is going to put that pipeline in. Go back to that one. See this one little corner where there's that little big power now. That yellow line, which is the distance line, is controlled by their development that's just west of the school. That would bypass that control, all flow directly to the golf course. So that water would come down that ditch, goes directly into where the golf course without another person. So, Brent and SPID have asked for the approval of this easement that would allow for that cross access across that.
So this water is coming out of well.
It's their well.
We have a new contract.
I do have the easement. We have it, yeah.
As a council.
Yes, we made it.
Any other clarifying questions or comments from the board? If not, I'll open to public comment to Ms. Hurst.
I always have public comment. I know, shocked. So when this was bid on with the contractor, was this something that was opened up publicly, or is this just the contract that you use for other projects?
It's not a contract, we're allowing an easement that allows it to get a line across a road.
So it wasn't anything you had to do some sort of an open bid for to maybe save
We're just
costs?
allowing them to access.
Okay, I didn't know if there was a change, it looked like there was a change, so I just wanted to clarify if that was an open bid or if it wasn't, and then of course it's just an easement change, so I just wanted to clarify.
Did you guys receive money for the easement from them?
No, what we get is the access.
Just for the water?
We would still, it's just access.
What clarified this? Was it just something that's a convenience, or was there some sort of legality around this becoming a necessity?
When we did the original easement, they weren't aware that they had, where they were going to have to provide water back in high school. So they said we should have done it at the same time, but they didn't do it, so we wanted to add this. We did get paid for that.
Other public comments, I will entertain a motion to. The motion that we're going to close the public comments, second by Jim, all those in favor? Aye. Aye. I move to, for discussion of possible approval of. We'll make a clarifying comment, that this is something we support. One of the comments saying we do have Brett coming in, to make decisions on this, but he's also proposing closing, so my comment on this would be some conflict of interest and we should stick in these. That being said, I will entertain a motion to approve. So.
See that corner right there? We're starting to work the lines that go on 45 is full from that, right? That is really important. We get that. I think over that location, right now, we'll make that piece so better. Now, I want to maintain what's going on there. Cost like that's planned over. It's not. That's the driving force for us. What we want is, we want that 45.
Question?
Make a motion to make this get across.
Second.
A motion by Jim to approve these access for SPID. As denoted in the exhibit. And a second by Randall. How do you vote, Randall?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Joanne?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
And I vote yes, motion passes 5-0. Action item 5, 2023.12.05A, approval of the 2024 meeting schedule. Can you show us that schedule? This has gone back and forth to determine kind of what's best. This allows it some adjustments in November, different things for the second and fourth week, but the standard dates would be the second and fourth Wednesday every month. It's a standard. Any clarifying questions or comments?
The 3 p.m. date was mandated by the state. We said we should swear the individuals in closer to the second. That was a Wednesday, so in discussion with Cassandra, we thought the third would be an appropriate time to do that. And the December setup is similar to the one we had this year. Not sure if we will need a special session on the 17th. We do what we do, but it depends on the comments or how much we have to propose to pass that. But hopefully we can do it on.
So the 10th of December is Tuesday. Why are we changing?
I'm sorry.
And then the other thing is, is it easier to already reserve, say, the 18th of December to approve the amended 2024 budget and proposed 2025 budget at this point in time? Or, I mean, December is a very busy month. I looked at that particular month next year, and the days between are really not a lot of days. We would probably get a lot of that thing. So if we don't need it, block this time.
So you would add a date, is that what you're doing?
We're just going to block the
We have to list it.
It's a special meeting because you have to.
Absolutely, we should pull that piece. Then on the other one that's, right, go up to the 6 months. That May, we got the May 8th, the next one should be May 22nd. Just do May 2nd. You see on that?
On this list, you'll get the two.
And then the other question I have is on June 6th. So recreation board meeting and redevelopment board meeting, typically we hold those, have held those at like 6:30 to 6:45, and then we'll go to the business meeting. So we need to get anything about that at this point in time.
this is the things.
We're done with board clarification, and we'll move this into public comment. Time is yours. There's no public comment, right?
When you fix these dates, is that gonna be posted somewhere?
Yes,
It'll
but
be
it will
posted.
be posted both on our website and on the Utah Public.
Okay.
Any other comments? And I'm going to entertain a motion to close public comment.
Second.
A motion by Jim to close, and a second by Maria. All those in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Board discussion and possible approval of the schedule. Will you clarify your amendments to the calendar? If you'd like it. As a formal amendment. So either the 22nd, just listen to, is the intent.
It's supposed to be the 8th and the 22nd. Then it's the bottom, so December 10th.
You clarify your amendments there? There's a lot of comments.
You're the voice. I just speak the information. Move to approve the meeting schedule with the amended dates, May 22nd instead of May 2nd. And December 11th. Instead of the 10th.
Do I have a second?
Second.
There's a motion by Reynolds to approve the meeting schedule, just from May 2nd to May 22nd, as well as December 11th to December 12th. Seconded by Jim. How do you vote, Jim?
Yes.
Randall?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Maria? And I will assume as I need to. Motion passes 4-0, no extension. Action item 6, 2023.12.06A, ice shack contract.
So, the ice shack contract runs from April to September. This year we included $50 month rental for the shed during this period. Vendor still has equipment in the shed. We contacted him and he said, well, the previous manager said I could store it there for free, but I understand there is no contract to do that. We are proposing modifying the contract, allowing to use that storage shed at $50 a month for the site. The vendor will be required to maintain insurance on his equipment for the contract. We had used to use that to store ice melt, and we no longer use that, so we're not using it. We're just going to collect the rental.
With this, second, with this begin January 1.
We're going to wait till retroactive. We're going to retroactively start.
So it started in October.
A clarifying comment, that contract is 3-year contract between.
Renewal. It's a renewal clause. So we're just doing the condition that we have to modify it.
Sorry. We were so about this. Happy with.
I think he's happy out of place.
So. There's no more clarifying questions or comments on the public meeting or public forum, public comments.
Actually, don't have any time.
Do you guys feel like you're leaving a bunch of money on the table on that?
Yeah, we know.
I mean, they're providing them the perfect place to sell ices. And
And the wear and tear.
We have had discussions about the contract. Unfortunately, That's the contract that's in place, and so.
Maybe a future contract, you can put a $50 a month plus a 5% of his total sales for
We know the rental is here.
It's not $50 though.
Right.
I put $50 into the ice shack myself, so.
No,
This is just a shed. Guy shack.
This is just the storage shed, it's not the storage ice shack.
Yeah.
Itself.
well, that's not where he's conducting business.
Right.
Oh, that clarifies
I would
that.
be like you.
It's probably the same type of contract that the corn dog folks have up by Maverick. I'm sure it's the same type of user contract they have for that property.
Yes.
But this is just a shed out here, that's not the shack itself, I guess.
But as far as the conditions, like you said, the shack, $50, but if there was some sort of agreement that you wanted or something, it'd be the same with the car wash. That they do for other vendors.
Yeah, we'll review the contract when it's up. Yeah, I can really.
I mean,
No,
whatever.
we just thought that was rental.
Yeah, we thought that was a rental on the ice shack itself.
That's what I thought.
It is generous.
If that's the price, I'll rent it and I'll sell ice also.
But we also feel like it's a service we help. If there's no other public comments, I will.
Some,
A motion by Marina close, second by Randall, all those in favor? Aye. Passes 5-0. We will now move into the possible discussion. We will now move to board discussion of possible.
sorry. How long is the current contract for?
That's 3 years starting last year. Is that right? So we got 2 more years. And there is an escalator.
There's an escalator, okay. And I think Alan brings up a good point. Yes, we should make money every place we can, but again, it's an amenity that we're providing, so it's. We're not a for-profit agency, right? We'd like to. But I appreciate Alan reminding us that that's our charter.
It's 5 years.
It's 5 years?
Yeah.
Starting,
These statements have right to be released for the total of 5 year periods, with each term being 5 months.
when is it?
Starting in this.
This past year.
Randall,
So how long is it for? 3?
5.
5 years. Randall, you have comments?
I would still like to see them move to the other one.
That's in plans.
Any other comments? Mike, just clarifying again, this seems fair. I believe this is generous. I think contract's probably understated. But that being said, I'm all out for the partnerships and providing good services. So in good faith, I think we continue with this. And if we have to escalate every year or escalate the clause. I would entertain a motion to either approve this direction or not.
Make a motion to approve the extension.
A motion by Jim, second by Maria. How do you vote there?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Randall? Jim? And I vote yes, motion passes 5-0. Again, this is just an addition to the clause, addition to the current contract, because this has never been closed. Yeah.
So it's a 5-year contract that started last April of the previous. So through 2023. We're stuck with that 2025. 2028.
If you recall, as new ownership, we assumed it was one of the old contract, agreed, and we just kind of moved forward with it. So I guess that's why somebody will continue. We'll evaluate that as it comes up.
Yeah.
We'll move on to action item 7/2023.12.078, establishing a vendor account.
So, we talked about this last month, it's just another mechanism for payment. We have picked up the, events, there's a lot of people who stand in line and pay for certain things that are sponsoring the card with phone. This is a phone version of the card. It's a fairly secure system. I use it for personal transfers. Seems to work pretty good. We did talk with the file about, they have a mechanism for doing charge offs. So the customer pays not the he's going to give us some information on how to do that. We would also probably decide to apply that to our current card system, which is. So all we're asking is to go ahead and set up this account. No cost to set it up, there's only cost of transaction fee.
Clarification on it would be that this is a similar fee structure as a PayPal for percentage of the base rate for each transaction. If we were to approve, we would need to validate our processes to be able to reconcile that, to be able to have proper checks and balances to everyone has access to it as well. But it is a great opportunity and allows us to collect money without having to bring a clone device out to everybody that we essentially scan and just simplify kind of those interactions. So there's not any other clarifying questions or concerns. I will open it to public comment. The time is yours.
I always have a comment again. So I appreciate the convenience, because I know it's easy to do, especially when I check people. It's very convenient, especially for court fees, concessions. The only thing I'm curious about is when you do it, sometimes when, just me as a normal consumer, getting my eyelashes done or something, I don't put it in there, because then the person that I'm paying has to absorb fees if they get too many transfers. So I know you know all the logistics with that, but I'm just wondering, when you guys allocate that in your budget within Polaris, are you somehow allocating where that's going? And I know there's a lot of logistics on the back end, but just so you guys aren't questioning in the future, if you have to have that done to show how many transactions were done at a per event, it might be smart to allocate it that way, just so there's not a $3,000 something coming from a random
So
site.
you're saying you set up a Venmo account so it charges to the Christmas market and then differently charges to.
I mean, that's kind of, I guess, but that's kind of inconvenient, because there's a little description that you have to have in every Venmo transaction. And if you require them to do that, like if you required me to say, I spent $50 on ices, not that that's, but if that was the case, you could transaction that better on a transaction summary, and you know where it's going, in case that's ever a question with, because I know PayPal doesn't require it, but Venmo does, which is actually quite lovely. So I just want to make sure that that was something that wouldn't sniff out a problem later.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Any other public comment?
How many devices can you put that on? Or are you just gonna have a sole place you come and pay, and then you get a ticket for whatever you're purchasing?
People have one Venmo account for the agency, so they will collect that. And for example, if someone sends it out to one station.
So you're gonna have somebody stand there at the Santa station all day waiting to collect Venmos.
Just a QR code.
It's a QR code.
And then you'll have the listing of what you're paying for.
Yeah, they would add a description.
What if the consumers aren't putting them listings in there for you? How are you gonna keep track of that? If somebody just puts number one,
I think you would have to require that. That's kind of what we were just talking about too. Whether they alter the QR, but if they're going to use the convenience of your Venmo to pay for something like pictures with Santa, then they have to put pictures with Santa. Otherwise, they can't use the convenience of your Venmo, because that could be under your approval,
But certainly you can tie it to the event by the date of the transaction.
Yeah, you can put the date, you want to pay in the butt. I mean, if you just put the description.
Business account, also, Venmo account.
Yeah.
It's not just personal account, it's business account.
You've been tracking every transaction with respect to these tracking everything goes to that account.
What you're saying is minimum slightly different.
Hey, Yeah, in cash.
And it's probably fair, and you don't want to talk about insurance in there, some type of risk of laundering or whatever it might be, right? You want to know exactly what that is.
Well, I think it's easy, because like you said, if they don't open the QR, you just print it out. And this particular event, Pictures with Santa, use the QR code, put this in the description. And if you'll get it immediately and be able to see it. If it's not there, then they have to, they have to put the description in there, they can't send it to you. I just think if people are wanting the convenience, they should be able to do that much for you guys.
Yeah, we would have to figure out the logistics of it.
How much are the fees on a business account for Venmo?
We looked at it a little bit, 30 cents per transaction. And then it's, no quote, but I have to look at it again. It's very similar to like a PayPal.
I would suggest that you incorporate those fees into the cost.
Sure.
My dad sends me with 3%, and I pull out the charge card. He's like, you can bring your checkbook, you're not paying that 3%. And then.
You must have the same deal as I have.
Excelsior. I don't even remember what site it took me to, but my ticket for the dance concert was $5 and grand total is $5.18 processing fee. You know,
I mean, for the convenience, I would say,
18 cents.
for the convenience, I would say.
Yeah.
And then people are.
All right, there's not any additional public comments. I will entertain a motion to close public comments.
So moved.
So a motion by Maria, second by Randall, all those in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0. We need to board discussion of possible approval to establish.
So under a Venmo account situation, if, even if we have this one account, what prevents it from an employee giving funds out of that Venmo account?
Yeah, so valid risks, as in we would have any access to any particular.
So if I have a Venmo account, the agency has a Venmo account, and my writing checks, they can send that money from their own account or some other checking account.
No, it's only one.
What?
It's only one way.
There's one account, there.
It goes right into our account, into our bank
I
account.
got that. So that's my bank account.
Yes. We authorize you to
Go
go
on my bank account.
only those unauthorized you can do that.
Well, we had it on authorized use before, and the process of what to. Fraudulent.
No, we have.
That's fair way to.
I never know when.
So it's the same mechanism. Same mechanism as a credit card. You scan a credit card, that money goes into our bank account. We can follow that transaction. That money is not drawn back out through that system, it's drawn out.
With the business account, it would not stay in the Venmo account, it would be pushed to our bank account, which we have checks and balances, we have to have a second approval, and those dollars to be transferred. So it's no different than any other bank account or anything. We got checks and balances. Does that make sense?
Check. Make something on that shit.
I'm not saying I'm in favor of not just explaining what it is.
So this money comes from this person over here to Bob. That's gonna go in my Venmo. It's gonna go in my Venmo account.
We'll transfer
Then it's gonna go in my Venmo account. Checking account.
After it clears, it would automatically go to your bank account.
That'd be for your personal Venmo accounts. We're talking about a Stansbury part Venmo account. That goes into the Stansbury account. To the bank.
Somebody check the checking account.
Yeah.
Right? So what prevents them from having access to my checking account? If I have a Venmo account, then when a person scans it, takes money out of their account, so that my account, right?
But the only way You can only put it in the bank account, into the Stansbury.
Yeah, what he's saying is, can you take the money out of the Stansbury account? Run it through Venmo and send it to a personal account. And if it's set up that way, if it's set up as a business account, you can't. It's going in one direction. So then, if it's in our account, then it's dispersed like any of the funds in our account. It's two-person.
So an example, I mean, I get an example, because it can sit in Venmo, so let's just say 50 people paid enough to be total $600 on this Friday to see Santa, okay? So out of the $600 that's sitting and it's in that Venmo account, they're gonna put the description in there, so that 600 would automatically go into your account when you pushed it. So the person would push it from Venmo, your administrative person, GM, whoever, would push the amount, the 600, into Venmo, and then you allocate it that way. So it wouldn't be a whole bunch of like $25 things, unless you wanted to do it and set it up that way. If it were me, I would put it as an event, push it as an amount, allocate it within my budget, and then you still have the convenience of the Venmo and charge the transaction fee on top of that, so you could allocate it all. But you can't pull it.
Amount goes into the bank account versus what I have signed up
Right.
in the.
So if I'm trying to keep track of exactly how much money I'm getting for every time the Venmo is used, it comes in as an event.
It'll give you a transaction.
I get $600 is. It's going to go in, and let's suppose it's not $600. Came out of the golf course.
No, that's what you say when you tag it to an event. So only the event that you're talking about on Venmo would go into the account under that particular. If the golf course was doing it, you have a second event, you drop into that tag on Venmo, and it would go in as that event, so then you can track it from the golf course through Venmo.
So we would only. So.
Same
purpose, for what purpose would we use this for?
If we have a picture of Santa, and mom shows up and doesn't have her credit card, but she's got her phone, she can scan the QR code, put the required note in there, and send it to the bank, and then she just pays for it.
So she could be paying for a swimming pass, maybe swimming pass, or if we set a party or whatever.
No, like if I
have a
wanted to,
specific event, others saying you have a specific event, so that everything that went through the pool for swimming passes would have that event tagged, so then we can track how many swimming passes did I sell, and how much money went into the account under that transaction covered. So then I can double check.
So in talking with our in-house accountant. Do you think that we can keep up?
Yeah, we
Put accounting on what's coming in, and it's gonna go to the right category, whatever category.
We do that now with Clover. Clover when it's credit card reader. It reads it at the pool or it reads it at the golf course. It runs a tape at the end of the day that tells me how many charges we have individual side. We collect those charges and it splits it out as your credit card. We just have Venmo as a separate event under Venmo. They verify those numbers with what they've done in the credit account. And it's in cash accounts, it's verified by a second person, and then it's written on the transaction. Venmo, we have X amount of dollars in the holding account, transferred into the bank account, and then we have a transaction, like record of how many pictures were sent on the bottom, and I should expect X amount of dollars based on what the transaction is. We can compare what they sold versus what went in the account.
And I think I heard you guys say that you would set it up that whoever is making the payment is going to pay the fee.
If that's
Reminder, we can approve, we can deny, we can table. If we don't feel confident in how this will roll out, we can't always. So,
One of the questions we had 2 weeks ago was to contact the state auditor's office and see if they had. If anybody would do that. We can certainly ask. But, I don't think it's any good. Just seems to me that it's more. I know you don't trust internet, so. Well, it just seems like there's a opportunities for something. Place where there are secure places. I don't use this, so I'm not familiar with it. So it's like, it just seems like people, I hear people say, well, this is easier. This is good for me. I really don't hear that. I want to make sure I'm not getting screwed. So that's, there are safeguards put in the money. I would rather do Venmo than do Venmo. It's more secure. Right?
Yeah, 100%.
Or having cash out in advance.
Yeah. Cash is much easier.
Venmo is actually in cash. I'd rather use Venmo. Just if I was you, keeping track of the things, cash for the deposit faster than Venmo.
Just as a side note, in quarter 2 of 2022, Venmo grew 50%. Now it has nearly 90 million accounts in the US. No, I don't think so, John.
Not going to
let's, this is, any other board discussion or motions?
Make a motion to approve this.
A motion by Jim to approve, second by Maria. How do you vote, Heather?
Yes.
Jim, Maria?
Yes.
Joe? And I vote yes. Motion passes 4-1. Comment on that, as I mentioned, open comments on the item, make sure we have process of reconciliation, separation of duties, checks and balances, those types of things. Those are all our action items today. I'm going to open it up for board member reports and discussion items. Let's go with the jump.
We have 2 items. You should know that on Hawk Park, I made contact with in the process, everything's set. That system, part of that, but I gotta go sit down and talk with them about power, make sure we understand the direction. And the second thing, pretty emergent power, I'll be applying for the ballpark.
Maria?
I just wanted to report that I was able to get 2 vehicles off the street, 2 storage vehicles off our street, and it's very simple. It's an online form on Tooele County, and if you want, you can put a picture in of the offending vehicle, but they were out there the next morning and had everything checked, so. I know, right? I know. See my own vehicles. It was really simple. What's that? They came out the next morning and had it. Off the vehicle. 2 are, the third one isn't yet, so I'll be doing another online request. But it's the storage, it's the main box storage unit. It's been there for 3 years, so.
Jim?
I know.
Yeah.
Do we know who's doing the board funds? We have a phone number.
I spoke to Cassie today, Sunday today. She is talking to someone, and it will move forward, so check with her.
In the newsletter today, it did mention.
Are we doing this or who's doing this? I guess we're doing that.
I'm not sure.
Also,
Polar plunge.
Well, this is your last meeting, would you like to say? Well, that's it. There's no comments.
that's the president.
You done? Awesome, thank you, awesome that we had public comment here, I appreciate it, we do try to keep it somewhat open and take what we can, but at the same time, try to get some items done, so we're not going. I will bear my views, because I'm out of here, I'll miss it, love it, I love getting back to the community, I came in here, very, very difficult time. The agency had just overcome 1.2 million in fraud. Not that I can take credit for what was done, but with Veronica, West Veronica, and Ingrid, and my insight, we were able to get almost all of that back. And I feel like I did my work, but it's how I even issued my earnings or my stipend this year to help support things and things I felt like I did for this community. I will not stop though. I will be a part of this community and will continue to help in the home defense and will continue to help with Stansbury because I do love this community and I think we have a lot here. And it's what makes us a premium place to live. It's what makes us a place that people want to live here. And it doesn't come cheap. I know I had to make tough decisions this year. I know people don't agree with it, but not made my decisions in that way. Appreciate the time, appreciate the relationships I've built. I hope you reach out to me for any questions, treasure questions, and tell me colleagues that I might be able to assist with. So, but thank you for listening. All right, well, I will entertain a motion to adjourn and potentially a closed session.
Okay, I make a motion that we adjourn the public meeting and move into closed session as needed to discuss character, competence, or health, an individual pending or reasonably imminent litigation and or the lease, acquisition, or sale of real property.
So anybody would like to go to that also have board members?
Ingrid and Ingrid.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Awesome. The motion by Maria, second by Randall, how do you vote, Jim? Maria?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Randall? And I vote yes, motion passes, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Thanks.
I just want to say thank you to all of you for all your hard work. I'll see you next October. Baseball practice, the first Wednesday in January. That's where I will be until then.
And if you want to reconsider the pool thing, I'm just saying that money keeps. I'm just trying to.